Okay. Okay, when I arrive at the end of the morning, dazzling sunny unit towers and me casting myriad of lights all up. Is right and left. We are garden driving bustling strolls along the pavement and streets without care of the world. Around more almost invisible thousands of robots are busy at their various occupations. Clients identify many models which are more or less recent. They range from the servant on the way to the garbage collector and the parents' eyes and them distinguishing the recent well-maintained machine from the sustained to the junkyard. Many I rarely visit this part of the city. Today is an exception and I take time to admire the city's power. So as a symbol, it's huge, imposing, gracious and magnificent. Although it stands for all that it represents power, renewal and more than anything else technology. So is also an emblem, the most important one of all. Represent our victory over all the robots that are defective and hanged as a result of programming. Over there is Alia Corp, the largest company in the area. Alia Corp, which is responsible for these multiple robots that have sprung up everywhere over the past few years. They are all in styles with all sorts of from all different periods. The most recent ones, the latest produced by Alia Corp, are the most highly sought after and the most expensive. They are also the ones that require the most comprehensive knowledge and skills for the maintenance. Fortunately, I have this knowledge regularly. Contact me. Explain why I'm here today. I have some repairs to do. I received some jobs requests from customers, but to be refurbished some mindful repair. And one or two parts to change my initial diagnosis based on the question I asked. But I plan to deal with all that later because right now I have to meet someone. Good. All that just to tell me that. All that talk. Help you. Don't mind. You're willing to Ellion store. That's why. I was there earlier, but he was not behind the counter. I'm rarely really what are you thinking? My Emilia was getting worse and worse. Ellion had not found her specific model of RAM. I would have no maybe an old lady, but she's not lady. Get another box even if there's a model more efficient. We threw so much together. Models are not I'm practically forced to buy them since the parts on the previous one are so hard. No, oh, Ellion found them anyway. Saved my Emilia. Play my home. I will. It's appreciated. It's lucky. I could help her. Jobs take events so fast models can get obsolete in the blink of an eye. And it's a new model, which is the key for most of the people. Looks a lot, it looks like, huh? How long will this construction take? We have been in it for months. The commute was already long enough, but with that I put go around the city. Plus, I hate waking up before dawn. I saw that telling her to meet at the only area. Oh. Find Ellion shop. Oh, the car looks more and more like every year. When I was a kid, I used to love counting different colored cars on the road and track. I always put the lime green one. It was so exciting. It seems that lime green is not only a car's dull color scheme. Color matter. The blend product were not everywhere I look. A few minutes later, I've almost reached my destination. I turned onto a long straight line with a giant screen panoramic windows, all surmounted by an elegant arc. Many famous stores can be found here, and I'm on my way to one of them. Facade stand out from the other because it's set back slightly. Where Ellion opened door. Ellion is my friend. Ellion is a quiet celebrity in the area. Nothing like a politician or a leading entrepreneur, but it does have next be a must. At least for anyone who has an Android, and that means everyone lucky to have known him for a long time. Impressive as he does the reputation of the store. Many people come to him for all sorts of robotic items. Personally, I'm one of his privileged customers. He supplies me with all the equipment I need for my work. However, above all, he's my friend. someone I've been able to count for many years. And who knows he can count on me in any emergency. Ellion represents many things right here and for me. One of the biggest suppliers of robotic parts in the city. Also a huge of contact. Known as and you know many people, even those who belong to the health circle, is evident in his opinions great impact here. However, he doesn't boast about them and doesn't try to take advantage of. Enjoying doing his job and running is not just like any other retailer. Just to make more. But I'm not here to tell him about his message. The spare parts I need, which I ordered from him, have arrived and I collect them. I hurry to entrance to the store. The window, large advertisement screens are on the loop listing the products. Nice high store interior, but it does allow anyone inside to keep an eye on the street. The system that was introduced all over Italia some time ago is agreeable. Unpleasant seeing without being seen, I can have that. However, for passerby, it's lacking of respect. Personally, I hate the idea of being looked at without my knowledge. I like being free and not feel spine. The door is just a few meters away, and I'm already imagining the warm welcome he will give me when I enter. Ellen is an extremely pleasant and open person. He always has time to chat with the people who come to his store, and he regularly asks for their loved ones. Incredibly sociable, and what's really why he's so popular. As far as I'm concerned, he's always been accommodating, rather charming sometimes. I must admit, not exactly unpleasant to look at. I smile across my lips and I nod my head in agreement. I still take a strange and I wonder what he will find. When my communication device starts ringing, my jacket in the pocket and activate the screen. My regular customer is displayed. Famous engineer only makes part of the system. Without him, the large and tube trains travel around the city wouldn't exist. These automated transport on roads are also very important for Eteria. They are skilled and precise drivers that free humans of travel. He's one of the biggest customers when he contacts me. It's because he requires very quickly. I answer. Consequently, I have to answer him. My dear customer, to what I owe you the pleasure of your call. You're available. I was afraid you wouldn't answer. I'm always available for a customer like you. The problem with one of my personal Android new generation personal assistant robot. I think they are made by Aliacop. That's surprising. But normally, I'm very happy with their equipment, but to me anymore. All along the street as I speak, steps are close to the window of Ellion store. Not a almost furtive movement inside. It's blurred because of the glass. I can make out the advertising screens more than anything else. There's definitely was movement. While your customer, you wonder. Steps. As I listen to my customer explain his Android malfunction. Understand that the device takes time to react to orders and that it doesn't carry them out. Whilst Android appears to have a will of his own. Without a faulty program, I tell myself I near the entrance. I want to tell my customer of what I think to reassure him when my eyes settle on the door handle. I freeze. The door is door. There is one thing I learn is that never leave the door open. It's unusual. Listen, you come, it's quite an income. And of course, I'll call you back. Thanks. And you could count on you. Yep, without even saying goodbye. Again. I approach the door, uncertain after a quick look, I realize that the mining system is out of order. A mechanic like we would have that in less than 10 minutes. A guy like Ellion would have done it in next to no time. Surprising, what's going on? Hold my hand and push the door. I lean my head forward and take a step. At first sight, the store appeared to be in order. I open the door wider and cross the threshold. There is less light here than on the street, and I look out. At first glance, I see nothing unusual. So, I have always known it. Forward. Ellion. No reply. The store is astonishingly quiet. Nothing must be wrong. I feel a sense of foreboding. I can't explain my reaction. Maybe a thousand reasons for the lack of people in the store. Ellion have gone out. May have decided to receive a customer in private for a reason known only to him. He has already closed his store for, let's say, discreet meeting. May have had to go out and close the store until he's managed to sort an unplanned meeting in town. It would be bad asking any possible. I want to believe possibilities yet never happened. The door to his that even short while. I know him too well. I know how dear it is to him. He did time, money, and energy in it. He wouldn't risk thugs getting in and robbing him like that. No, there must be an explanation. Ellion can't be far away. I pass between the shelves, feeling increasingly confused. The equipment is there, nothing appears to have been moved or disturbed, yet the place is empty, completely empty. So where can the customer be? Is he at work, in a meeting, or at present organized by Alia Corp? This conference of some sort may have attracted passerby someplace else. I don't remember ever seeing Ellion's store quite so deserted. It's really troubling. At last I cross the main aisle of the store and head towards the wall opposite the entrance. It's where Ellion has his counter, where he usually is when I come here. Just sell, order, and keep it cash there, and his computer is always there. At last I spot I'm looking for a refined designer unit with a slightly over design. I contain my surprise. There is nobody here. Confused, I stop in front of the unit and turn around slowly. I see the window beyond the furniture which occupies the entire surface. On the other side of clear glass, I can make out the silhouettes passerby. They stroll by casually without showing any particular interest in the store, at least no more than usual. Slow down to look at the advertising screen, but I don't notice any suspicious behavior. I turn my attention back inside all the deserted aisles. Silence. That was frightening. I turn around again, find my communication device, and switch it on. Call Ellion. Voice recognition responds as expected and places a call to the retailer. I wait, slipping away from the counter to slip behind it. At first, the surveillance system appeared to be working, but to make sure this, I would need to go to the back room. Here, only a discreet light indicates that everything is in order. Control screens are hidden in the back room. I mentioned me them a few months ago. My call is not answered. Annoyed, I keep trying to control and stand in the middle of the store, my hand on my hips. There's no way. About Ellion is in the back room. Tell the truth, apart from his store, the only place Ellion might be in the storeroom. The back room can be accessed by going around the counter and passing through a tiny metal strip curtain. I won't find any way. I won't find any more in the store. Ellion is not there. No point searching under the shelves. But in the back room, I set off toward its pace. Ellion has allowed me in a few times. If I remember correctly, his storage area probably large enough for him not to be calling him. Maybe he forgot his communicator somewhere. Knowing him, that's highly likely. I doubt. This communicator is working tool. Never without it, and is always happy to answer my calls. Unless it's not working, that's a possibility too. I pass through the metal strip curtain which separates the store from the back room. I head into the storage area. My god. Lot of talk, huh? In this game here. Head to the storeroom. I had barely taken a few steps when my foot touches something soft and sticky, and above all extremely slippery. My balance and almost fall back and just managed to catch myself on the door frame. I was close a little more and I've landed on the floor. But what's this? I whispered instinctively. I recover and crouch down to hold my hand out to the floor. In front of me, where I would walk, there is an unidentified puddle of liquid. I can still make out the mark of my shoe. I then bring my finger to my face. The first thing I notice is not blood. I feel a sense of. I had already been imagining all sorts of scenarios. Alien executed in cold blood is back home by some thug looking for equipment or money. Alien dying after bravely defending his stuff from thieves. Imagination is taking an unhealthy and dramatic turn. I have to get a grip. I would better concentrate on what is on the floor. It's just colorful and going by the smell. I would say it's enjoying all, something like that. But what is it doing there? Look, puddle and noticed an upturned can at the foot of one of the shelves that lined the room. Then I pull my senses on the alert. I know Ellion too well. If there is one thing he hates, it's disorder. Would never have left the can open on the floor like that, and even less so the puddle that's sprang out from it. There really is something strange going on here. Take a few steps as quietly as possible into the back room. My eyes scan every square foot on the storage area. Shelves, all sorts of parts, equipment, cans. I notice some working clothes against the wall, table, tools hanging on hooks. Everything appears to be in order and peaceful, except for this abnormal silence. My missing friend John can. I take a few more steps and pass the first row of shelves. The sound of my soles appear to be echoing over the walls, almost terrifying, frightening. Never have I heard such silence in Ellion's door. Makes me even more worried about his about. Rain. I go somewhere else. Uh, yeah, I turn right toward the office normally occupied by Ellion when I hear a sound. It's the sound of something striking metal, as if someone had accidentally bumped into. I turn around quickly, ready to face whatever danger came from the row at the side. I'm sure of it. The back towards it. The closer I get, the faster my heart beats. Because over there, I think I can out silhouette crouching between two sheets. Up, squint. Could it be Ellion? Louder. Ellion, is that you? All things happen all at the same time. Firstly, I hold out my hand towards the crouching figure just as it turns around. I cry in shock and recall when my eyes meet two light-colored eyes. It's not Alien. Ranger stands up quickly and steps back in the tight space. I barely notice his sudden appearance and anxiety. I only have eyes for his eyes. His eyes, light-colored, deep, immediately disturb me deeply. I find myself gazing at his eyes with fascination. Don't know him, that's for sure. Yet there is something strange about him. I believe I feel attracted to him. Maybe it's just the adrenaline. Myself together, tense and look around me quickly to check whether there is anywhere I can escape. He appears to be along the same line because his eyes out toward the exit. Block any attempt my clench tightly. The thing about it. In response, he stares at me with a slightly mocking smile. You could stop. But larger ones than you on their knee. Who are you? My comment appears to amuse him, but shocking and I want to realize it. Don't believe me, I can show you. Want me to try? Tries again with a mixture of my amusement and that my light up face and immediately makes me attracted. What the hell am I playing right now? But I digress. This is not matter in the end. Besides, I don't know him, so whether he's handsome chaos is the moment. Actually dangerous until proven otherwise. Maybe him that Ellion is not here. Try to avoid being psychically charmed so that he can question who are you? Just stares at me without any signs of fear. Briefly, then opens his mouth to reply. Who are you? Oh, silence of his reply left me flabbergasted. But even more so because he pronounced my friend's name in a familiar manner that leaves me out. No alien. Get out. I relax a little, feeling confused. And here, and why is he talking about the store owner as if he knows him personally? The shoulder and takes a few forward, automatically giving him to leave the shelter. I watch him, I think he can run away the path to the fight my tree. I'm not all that much of an obstacle. As well built, wide shoulder, powerful, but holds himself with the reassurance one who is strong and fast. I'm sure he's strong enough to push me over. He could leave the room without having to worry about me attacking him or blocking him. Yet he does nothing. He stares at me as if he's not sure how to answer. I decide to. I don't have all day, and I would rather know if immediately if he has anything to do with Elion's absence. No, don't know what to say. I asked the question, do you know Elion? Maybe. I mean, maybe. He read is clearly making fun of me. I'm annoyed and I became aggressive again. As an answer, either you tell me why you are here or I'm calling security. If you know it's going to scare me, why are you here? I had to see Ellion. Does that to you? Ellion, that's all I my head disappointed. Oh, you were in the area when you saw the open door. You decided to go in and take a look. Nonsense. And then, when you saw that the store was rather well stocked, you decided to do shopping in the back room. I've eyed him. His features hardened and a bright light glimmer in his eyes. Doesn't scare me. I've come across worse people since I've been in this job. You're accusing me of being a thief. You understand me. I see you have a sharp mind. Well done. He doesn't appear, but I couldn't care. Above all, I believe that your presence here is suspicious. You're doing it. My friend would never have left this store to open. This store open to all and sundry like that. And your friend, you say that Alien is your friend? Then my eyes stand. Of course. Oh, can you doubt something so obvious? Against all expectation, the stranger gives dry, critical laugh. Immediately feel offended. Don't see. Funny. Indeed, you are right. Smiles at me ironically before continuing. Our friend Ellion, I'm a friend of Ellion. We are both here in his store, even though he's not there. But he should up the situation. Admit, he's good at summing up the situation. However, I'm not convinced he's a friend of Ellion. That would surprise me. You're a friend of Ellion. What? No, we would know that if I say the same thing. You look too prim and proper to be one of his acquaintances. Who are you, a busybody and a friend? Please really start to my nerves. I'm coming and it can be heard in my voice when I told you I'm a friend of Ellion. Nothing more. But I was not the one behaving suspiciously hiding in the back room. I wasn't hiding in any way. It was you who sneaked in like that. Of course I entered the store. I had an appointment with Ellion. Start with what's your name? Who are you? Who are you? Now, calm down. Taking his shoulder, he takes a few steps into the back room. Watch him making sure to always remain between him and the door. However, he doesn't appear concerned, not at all worried about the situation. He looks from left to right, visibly focused and closely noting everything he sees around him, as if looking for something, for someone he didn't want. He didn't answer me. Susan's sides clearly irritated. You are a pain, you know that? I've had that effect on people sometimes. I could stare at him, waiting for him to answer. Eventually, does grudgingly. Okay, you want I'm Carl. I'm a repairman. A repairman. Look how he's dressed. This crew is wearing the type of clothes repairmen usually wear, but that doesn't mean anything. Carl's got annoyed when he noticed I'm still staring at him suspiciously. Do you want me to stand on system to prove my qualification, or will that do? Would be happy with that. Honestly, no, I don't agree, but I will make do for the moment. Love before heading toward Alion's desk. I react immediately. Hey, what are you doing? Do here? Walking around Elion's store and back room is one thing. Looking at the administrative document for his business is different. And trying to find out where Elion is gone. Searching things between him and the tall shelf where Elion keeps files in compartments, some of which are overflowing. You have a better idea, mechanic. He pronounces my profession with a touch of distaste and roughly out of the way so he can try to avoid falling, and Coil used the button to catch all of the first file within his reach. He's already opened it before I'm able to stop him. Step back and cross my arm to show my disapproval, but I'm not sure how to proceed. Contact the authorities. The wisest thing would be to authorities or other right to let a stranger search friend's desk. Perhaps he's a competitor or worse, a mercenary. He has no right being here, and his excuses are evasive, not to say same as mine. I admit, if question about what he's doing here, there's assumptions that I will be questioned. I have nothing other than my word to prove I had an appointment. What if Ellion lands in trouble? Post on the page file before laying it down and picking another one. Do you hope to find here? Why are you doing that? I the right to search for aliens is like that. Sigh dramatically, top of the desk suddenly with the fun. Look at me. You think you seem very bright. Maybe I have an idea. Maybe you didn't notice some can on the floor. Or the fact that the store is deserted. I did. I friend is absent for no particular reason. What do you mean? Guess what? I had an appointment with him. Elion's never missed an appointment for work. Never. I had an appointment now. No, fortnight ago. Of course, he's infuriated on the edge. He runs his finger through his dark red hair and thinks. It only lasts a few months, but that's enough time for me to ask myself the question. Well, I had an appointment with Ellion, and if Ellion had also had an appointment with me, his absence is worrisome. May have gone to one of his customers in emergency. Quickly, he picks up the file he thrown on the desk and wait. He has quite a few shady contacts, in my opinion, like this one, the repair shop. Eyes widen. The name, honestly, Max Doji. Hey, how dare you? I rip the file from his hand and snap it shut. My story you're talking about. This, my reply, starts leaning. Looks up and down before laughing loudly in a way that exacerbates my in pride. Alright, no need to mock. But seriously, are you serious? Absolutely. Yes, so yes. His head with amusement is far from my hand. I believe looking at you, I thought you were better than that. Yeah, yeah. Calm down, you're a mechanic. That's good. And just players file on you. Shuffles the document before carelessly returning them to. That's done. Now we can. Or do you have any other objection? No objection. I have no objection on that coil. Thanks. So if you allow me, I'm going to catch hold for the final prevent from doing so by placing my hand on his wrist. Surprise! He turns towards me a dirty look. Maybe we could just wait until back. What do you say? I want to come back. Is that all? Yes, that's all. He probably won't appreciate the front. These things. Time is all and humorless. Probably have terrified more than one. I'm not the sort of person who scares easily. He would rather we search through these things to helping than just do nothing. He's clearly accusing, and when he points, yeah, I feel kind of alien would know that. Implying? He raises his arm and places them on his head, and a renewing smile on his lips. He stares at me coldly as he twitches nervously. Oh, I don't know, you may be lying. But no, that is not true. I never spoke to me about you. Anybody could be responsible for his puddle of oil. I said the file in the compartment, my file. Was this opportunity and attracts Patty? Patty, you are mad. Elon is my friend. Play me and never spoke to me about you. Never spoke to me about you either. Oh my god, what? It's as if he's been struck by a thunderbolt. I stare at Cole and he gazes intensely at me. Doubt has taken root between us and me. We stare silently at each other. Nurse is palpable, electric. I have no doubt that he will jump me if I make the slightest movement. And I would do the same even if he tries to lift me in a threatening manner. Kind of situation. Take a breath. The situation is becoming unbearable. Something to be done. And he's in of the shady car in front of me. I adopt his initiative. I raise my head and slowly adopt a more detached and less aggressive attitude. People continue to gaze at me. He's for them to serve points. Let's say that Elliot doesn't discuss his situation with others. I'm here because we both know Elon and we work with him. Where are you going with this? Put us on the same side, so we are allies. Allies for Ellion. For Ellion. Allies, why not? One color relaxes and breathe easier. An amused sort of smile before nodding. Not bad for a two-bit mechanic, you know how to. I don't pick up on it as certain whether he's teasing me or complimenting me. Then I study the desk where Elon usually works. Something is bothering me, and I decide to tell Coyle about it. Well, I just it is probably my only ally in this affair. At least I hope he is. So you really had an appointment with him? How many times do I have to say it? Yes. Somewhere suddenly seizing the reality of the situation. Me too, I had an appointment with him. Capture his full attention. When? Here now. Exactly, here and now. Outside before letting his eyes roam around the room. Looks at the puddle of oil on the floor and knowing Ellion if you had an appointment here with him and beer to complete the sentence so Cole does it for me. All I mean means he's in trouble, serious trouble. I confirm. I can only nod. Share the same concern. In fact, I have to admit it's been bugging me ever since I entered the store. In any case, we have to find out more. What do you suggest? Him will see the answers and where he can't help giving a slight sarcastic smile. In your time, I've already tried no results. You have something better to suggest? No. We'll leave it to the professionals. This time I can't contain my laughter at professionals as if professionals they explain his appearance. I completely ignore his remark and move away to search the room. My god, what's that? Novel or what? Paul has already placed a call on his communicator. I leave it to him. I know what's going on, what's going to happen. Nothing. I have another idea. I have decided to explore the area in my own manner. Something may be hidden somewhere, a clue that might help look whether it's absolutely normal or not. The back room has many large shelves. They are laden with various supplies, most of them familiar to me. Along one side, I spot the various other aliens received. He appears to have processed. Mine must be in there, but now he's not to worry about that. Nothing at least take back to the desk. I hate to admit, but Cole's right. If you find Ellion, we don't have much choice, since the desk might learn about his movements. If I could find his diary, go behind the desk and put a chair back so I can crouch down in the drawer one by one and start searching through them as I feel Cole's interested gaze on me. Well, it looks like you don't commit so many crimes now. Shut up, make your call and leave me alone. I guess with pleasure. I roll my eyes and continue my search, trying to ignore his presence. However, after a short while, I can't stop looking at Coyle. He turned to my company. He's wandering around, fiddling with his communicator. I spent watching him study, determine appearance, and gesture a line gait. All radiates a certain something that rolls high and rolls you at. And his glimmering eye or the charisma that emanates from him. In any case, it's impossible not to look at him as I am now. Easily imagine that he is all muscle and delicacy. Jesus. I suddenly realize that I'm undressing him again. What I am reading here. I blush and look down, but fast enough to escape his snot. Arcades an eyebrow evilly, and I blush again. What? Nothing. I thought I heard something in the store. Really? Quickly switches off his device and strides away. I discreetly with relief once he's on the other side of the wall. He was careful to avoid the puddle. Maybe what to clean up. Good idea. Lady, this can serve to dope your pose and that is dangerous. I don't see what I can do. Get an episode or cloth among Alien's equipment. Head for the door. Paul reappears just as I'm bending down to clean up. Hey, what are you doing? Isn't that obvious? Don't touch it. We don't know hook nut over the pan, and it may be a clue. A clue. And overturned a foil, a clue. I doubt that very much. Carl sees the cloth from my hand roughly ahead. Don't touch a thing. Imagine that the person for this maze came back. You would know we have been here if we clicked up. Hey, are you sure you are repairman? Personally, I would have said the detective. Go on, make fun of me. In any case, leave behind as possible. Don't want anyone to see we have been here. Any problem because of all this? Are you afraid someone finds out we are here? I look nudges at him. Something you feel ashamed of, perhaps, as the alien disappearance. There is a moment of silence between us, feeling tense. He just gazes me stoically, then very slowly a small smile appears on his lips. Even more seductive like that, I can't stop thinking. You know you have a screw loose. Hey, what? I'm only telling the truth. You must have mind to think of such things. In an attempt to be casual, he takes a few steps away. The door is completely I blocked the door so we wouldn't be bothered by unwelcome visitors. In other words, nobody can get in and nobody can get out. At him trying to understand the real meaning of his words. That doesn't exactly reassure me. Want, but believe me, some has to cover yourself like that. Never know who you are going to come across when things goes wrong, even in the center of Eteria. I adopt that security service. Otherwise, who carry out order, but I can tell you, they are not the ones I'm wary of. Then, Cole studies me for a while as if I am sizing me up. I suppose that what is doesn't completely avoid question. Forget it, young mechanic. touch the desk while I'm trying to contact Ellion again. I shrug, pretending not to care. I really found his remark intriguing. I wonder what I was talking about. Could he have found himself in difficult in the past, but Jesus, we don't give a shit. Type of situation in which you don't find yourself if you have nothing to feel guilty about. I glance sideways at him. So who's this guy? I return behind the desk and put my meticulous search. I've already opened two drawers and inspected their content without finding anything of interest. Table pens, a tablet pen, some parts from some sort of printed circuit, nothing that helps me locate my friend. I sight and start on the other side of the desk. In the distance, I hear Cole's communicator informing him that the call has not been answered. There is no point, Alien is not answering. Written up, not really surprised by the result. Try again. Cole stares at his device, concern lining his forehead. Look upset and suddenly I feel sorry for him. From his face, I can tell he's really concerned about Ellion wants to get a hold of him. But is it for a good reason or a bad reason? Oh, you should try again sometimes when he's in the middle of something. And then gives me a blank look. He agrees. You're right. Let's try again. Again and watch him. Couldn't I? Surprise once again. No answer. My head. Not answering. Well, all that remains is backup plan. And what's the backup plan? I make a sweeping gesture around the room. Touch all this and hope to find something to locate Alien. Paul falls silent, thinking. He gazes at shelves and furniture. I watch him for a while and then decide to continue searching the desk. Silence and search. I walk in an increasingly heavy silence. Close headed back of the room while I go through the desk with a fine tooth comb. Yet his presence is so perceptible that it becomes almost disturbing. Silence between us grows heavier as slight sound echoes as possible, and I was looking in his direction. Occasionally, I hear him rummaging through box. What can he hope to find among the shelves that might be used for locating Ellion? I haven't a clue, but too bad. Do what he wants and continue searching the desk. Filling cabinet paper, drawer, folder, everything is inspected. I find a whole host of things from assembly plans to chemical formula for liquid component. In other circumstances might have interested me. But right now I have other priorities. Papers, jars, turn to look in the filing cabinet, going back to the drawer. Nothing, apart from Joel. I feel suddenly with of my fingers. A sudden rush, a mixture of anxiety and impatience. I hold my breath while I take time to my initial impatience. Then I raise my head and look for Coil. He is near the entrance, studying the row of cans from where the one on the floor fell. I think I found something. He immediately straightens up and joins me. Bottom of his drawer is loop-sided. Coil looks serious. You want to do some do-it-yourself and spruce up equipment? I use kind of a misfix tool. I sighed, refusing to raise the bait because in truth he is not all that far from the truth. I've always repaired everything and ever since. However, I make sure not to do that. I go and get you some nails and a hammer. Give him a dark look, he's irritated. On purpose or what? Maybe. Awake then. That's what this Rogelon has hidden in his desk. I smile knowingly and movement. I ring the drawer of his unit. The object in his drawer fall to the floor as over. Start by studying the interior. The bottom is in lopsided, but above all, it doesn't critique considering the height of the drawer slides. I was going to say that. Gently, I send my nail along the edge of the strip that holds the place and lift it. Comes away without any difficulty, revealing, a hiding place. Pulse burst out, laughing, and slapped my shoulder, slightly overly familiar. Damn, Alien. It's always amazing me. What's inside? I completely remove the board to find a small, shiny, rectangular device and pick it up. Looks like some sort of smartwatch. Takes it to the light and reacting to my finger comes on. What does it say? Wait, it's loading. Eventually, the screen lights up and a message appears asking for a code. Great, it's really useful. So grumbling. William told me one day that he will use the same code. He use the same code for his security. William, I don't tell you that. Who knows? Maybe because I know him and you don't. Yeah, enter the code on the screen. I can't help but smile proudly when the device unlocks. Come to call triumph. Told you so. Alright, no need to go on about it. So what is in the machine? I scroll through the menu on the screen with my finger. It looks like a list of names, number, and maybe some addresses. Customers. I don't know. It's not clear. Ah, wait. Stop scrolling down the screen and click on an app to start it. Yeah, there. Here it looks like, oh, I'm not sure. It looks like numbers, roll, know what it might be. Owen leans over my shoulder and his sudden proximity makes a jump. I didn't realize he was right next to me. Chest brushes my neck and I freeze. I can almost feel his body against mine. Oh my god. It's really unsettling and slightly embarrassing too. The game is embarrassing. I move to the side and hold the device out to him. It's really unsettling and slightly embarrassing too. He looks at his as it was wrong and I take the opportunity to pose myself. Well, I break the silence to hide my embarrassment as far as possible. The repairman gives me a crooked smile before casually racking his finger through his hair. Not just any series of numbers, these, my young mechanic, are coordinates. Coordinates. And if I'm not wrong, there must be a map somewhere. Already hunting through the document, the desk, and the drawer. In terms of discretion, he could do better. I intervene before he makes too much of a mess. I saw one over here. I lean over and he moves aside to let me look. Our hips brush against each other briefly, but it's as if we have been struck by a thunderbolt and I feel it throughout my entire body. Put yourselves together. Here it is. Quickly I open the map on the work surface, turn to face him. And now, Paul is already following a vertical line and finally comes up at a point slightly further away in the area. Holy cow, why didn't I think about it before? In turn, I lean over to examine the map, but all I can see is an intersection of some buildings. What's there? Do you know this place? Does it have any alien? Paul stares at me briefly and steps aside suddenly. He hits toward the door, but I'm quick. I catch him by the wrist and he's around. His eyes have darkened, his face is harder, but it doesn't intimidate me. In reality, he fascinates me. Look at Romans, what the hell is that? His eyes, his presence, his charisma, his determination. The curve of his lip, the color of his eyes, and the strength I can sense in his body. Everything makes me want to find out more. I'm attracted to him. There's no doubt about it. What am I saying? What nonsense? I don't even know him. Let me go. Why are you doing like that? You appear to be in the real all of a sudden. What? Yes, we're smart. Going where the coordinates it. It tries to break free, but I hang on. What's there, don't you? I believe you don't. I thought you were Ellion's friend. I'm his friend. Well, how come you don't know where his warehouse is? Again, tries to pull away from me, and this time I let go. Come to a house. I'm stunned. Evans never told me about anywhere other than his store. Yet Colt knows about it. Must mean that he really does know Ellion. I don't have any more time to think about this. Paul has already left the back room and has headed into the store. I follow him at a brisk pace. Jeez. Wait! Eddie Cole stops and look at me. It's obvious that he has quite enough of my interruption. But now, I have to go there alone. One of us should stay here in case Ellen come back. Sometimes you stay here and I will go. No, but I mean was I should go. Because at me dubious, I hurry to tell my argument as I sense he's preparing to object. I can pass a notice. He was expecting me. Be wiser for you to stay here. You will know what to do if thieves try to get in. Out of the question. Ignore his remark, walk past him and rush towards the door. Reactivating it in a flash, immediately set off and run down the street towards the location indicated on the map. Fortunately, Cole catches up to me very quickly. With his long stride, he has no difficulty up with me. I sight and accept the fact that he will be calling with me. My god. So this is a romance on Sandbox. My god. A romance game. Yeah, was it the second or the third on my left? Continue. And I'm already late. This is a nightmare. Okay. Out. No, but sure I can help you. Ellie, thank you. Believe. New job at a startup company located at Supernova Ltd building today. The map of the route, but I'm nervous I lost. There is a pink sign indicating the building. Don't worry about it, I'm from around here. The building is actually pretty close. Well, I'm a little tired running everywhere to find it. Would you find the building while I'm resting here? Explain the path. No problem. We'll look at it. Here it is. I will go back to Jackson and tell him how to get here. You're back. So where is it? Go straight and then turn to the left. You should not miss it. Oh my. No, what to do? What to do? I need to help my master. Option C. Yeah, I can. Possibilities. Hey, check. Oh wait, it seems like in a logic loop or something. Oh, it breaks my heart. You have a better thing to do. Take long? I swear it won't take long. Quit yourself. I'm not into the mood to argue. Oh, mister, do you need help? What if? I know I cannot. Pardon me, my lady. I appear to be confused by my situation. Master got jumped by punks. I'll live nearby. Help him, but I cannot. It's humans. Come out of the window. Let me out. I use violence, but they are not responsible. I don't know. Oh well, that will get my muscle moving. Let's go. Coil wants to fight them. Okay. Police. Around if you don't want trouble. Nah, I'm not going anywhere. Come on, go. Do that, miss. There's only way to solve this then. Fight. You weak. I wear my hat and stuff. I would look funnier in a dead mouse. Oh, there I am. I'm back. Okay. My hat. Put your tongue. And shut. Tell you the way to get him. Very easy. Where's my master? I need you save him from the tags. Yeah, can't let them know not to make trouble anymore. I'm glad to hear this. Very easy. Did not bring him back here. Didn't want to follow us, and he didn't want to talk either. He's in shock. Oh no, he's here, then he couldn't protect him. Alright, but you better take him to this place. Do that. Thanks a lot, my lady. There. Forever grateful to you. What's that? Poker game? Journey to the site indicated by the coordinate was not all that long. We had to cover a large part of the city and go around the large tower, but that didn't bother me. I like gazing at this tower when I'm here. So impressive, it fascinates me. Imagine the interior in 1,000 different ways, and I hope that one day I will be able to go inside. But for the moment, I've had enough of walking. I didn't realize it, but the journeys tired me out. However, it has given me time to think a great deal about the situation. Alien absent and not answering on my call. Call this mysterious stranger I found in the back room who's no alien and many secrets. I haven't stopped keeping an eye on him as we hurry through the streets of the area. I cannot decide if I can really trust him. I know it's silly because his intentions are valid and I believe that he's a for Alien. Same as me, to be honest, the doubt him has never came to me. There's been no shortage of one is the repairman he works with, so why he had never mentioned Carl. I would like to know the answer, but for the moment it's beyond me, and I have to make do the company of his repairman on whom I am partly reliant. He seems reliable, at least maybe his attitude makes me doubt if until I have shown that I can trust him. But all the same, I have a feeling he didn't hesitate in what direction to take. I followed him blindly during our trip. I'm so sure of the destination. I have liked to have had I have liked to have had the time to ask him some more questions. His mysterious hair attracts me. However, he has not given me the chance. Paul spent most of the time in silence as he covered his distance. He's followed up the miles with his long stride and it's taken me all the energy and not the pain. My pride wouldn't have stopped having to run after him if he had outpaced me. I've kept up with him and sometimes I've even tried to outpace him. Our little game lasted and both Groot and Red finally reached our cruising speed. We slipped by as we exchanged few rare words. At last, he stops at the intersection and I come to stand still next to him. Here we are, the warehouse is over there. It's that large building. Indeed, I spot something that from a distance looked like a warehouse. Massive, imposing, its facades are covered with long, narrow windows. It looks nothing like the surrounding store and buildings. I squint. I'm intrigued by this new environment. I've never visited this part of Eteria, and all the more intriguing, Elliot never talked to me about his warehouse either. Paul glances at me. He pounds at the building on the corner of the intersection which houses our common friend warehouse. I scan the facades, looking for the entrance. The door opened onto the small adjacent street just behind. I don't answer. He annoys me when he makes out that he knows it all. I simply give a forced smile and walk down the street. Cole follows me, sneering. Admit it, you don't know Ellion all that well. I know him very well, probably much better than you. So how come you don't even know where the entrance to his warehouse is, or even where it is? How do you explain that? Obstinately unsure. You sure said. And what if I was lying? At that point, I'm overcome by a particularly unpleasant sense of doubt. After all, I don't know anything about Cole. What if he's drawn me into a trap? That's impossible. The site was indicated an alien's Cole never could have catched such a plan. Unless he put the watch there before I arrived. Unless it was coordinated. No, I cannot believe why would I have done that. Why I'm just a simple mechanic from Italia, there would be point in him tapping me like that. And what does it have to do with Ellion, my friend, supplier, and Kahoot with God? Suddenly, the implications are too numerous and alarming. The halt to all this conjecture because it's so terrifying. I'm rambling. I have to pull myself together. The war is making me delirious. Carl stares at me as if his gaze is cutting through me to read my deepest thoughts. I hold his gaze proudly, refusing to show any signs of weakness. It's true, it does have an effect on me, but that doesn't mean I have to show him or let him know it. See him as he gazes at me, wondering about him. Like to me, really. That's just a few moments before he breaks the silence and mused. He really thinks. His eyes sparkled with malice and amusement, and I realized he was playing with me. I flushed immediately and turned around furious. I hate being caught out lying. You talk rubbish. Well, it's obvious you believed it. Don't answer irritated. Makes me feel completely transparent. It's disturbing and annoying. Mystery to me, while I'm clear as water to him. He keeps a straight face for a few more seconds as I rack my brain, then his smile widens and bursts out of laughing. Come on, let's go and see if Ellion is in his warehouse or not. I shrug, still irritated by his attitude. Cutting an Alia Corp android heading in the opposite direction, he crosses the street at foot. Within a few moments, it reaches the pavement where the warehouse is located. Follow him, more moderate pace. Oh God, where am I at right now? 18 out of 28. Well, still a way to go, huh? Cole leads me into the side street and stops in front of a large closed door. The lock is a keypad. Kyle stared at it, confused, but I'm not worried by the lock. Don't look like that, you know Ellion, right? Cole assents and watches me as I approach the keys. I wink at him and enter the code I used to unlock Ellion's smartwatch. Then, full green light comes on, a sign that my code has been accepted and we are free to enter. I feel unexpected. of relief. Somehow I've just obtained proof that Paul was not lying. The code is Ellion's, therefore logically it's his warehouse. Unless the watch doesn't belong to him, unless Cole planned all this. Unless I put a stop to all this doubt and certainty, they are just clouding my mind. Instead, I enjoy the stand expression on Cole's face and step aside to let him pass. After you, ladies first, withdraw into myself and shrink. If that's how he wants to play it, so be it. I'm not faint at it, and it takes much more than that to frighten me. What, are you scared of the dark? Yeah, no, I. Say a word, stay behind me, I will protect you from the baddies. Turn my back to him to hide my silent laughter and go ahead to the warehouse. That dissatisfied muttering accompanies my footstep, but I find it funny. Let him take a little sarcasm too. I won't do him any harm. However, my laughter quickly fades aside, and what I find surprises me and silences me. Everything is as I imagined it would be. Or the place is as I imagined it would be. Laid out over 2 levels, stacked with piles of boxes and equipment, everything I see reminds me of Ellion. I approach the goods elevator on my right, and look down. What is this place? My whispers go around the walls. It's huge. At the back, I can make out a metallic sheen. Looks familiar. An assembly bench. Paul passes me and walks around the boxes stacked near the entrance. I drag my eyes away, follow him. The whole place is unbelievably empty and silent. I call Ellion, but I look all around, but I can't see any sign of Ellion. Is he here? Hiding among those shelves? I can make out on the lower level. I want to believe it and resist leaning over to try and spot his silhouette. I already imagine him down there coming out from behind a box, surprised to find us. I examine the surroundings and suddenly notice a shadow, a movement. I cry out before even thinking. Cornelian, shut up. Paul spins around and with 2 steps he reaches me. His hand closes over my mouth, forcing me backward, his body pressing against mine. Back strikes the wall behind me, and Coil flattens me against it without ceremony. I freeze against him, extremely troubled by this sudden proximity. I push him. Broken drama. His hand over my mouth is like a gag and it's terrifying. I feel the power of his body blocking me, which makes me panic. I push him roughly and with a certain brutality, releasing me, move aside. It's under his arm, placing a secure distance between us. Turn into you. Not so loud. What if someone dance there? Whispered instinctively, I do the same and lower my voice. What we are looking for, Ellion, no? If he is here, but if he is not, him, an assassin. Open my wide eyes. Is it me or does Skull constantly feel in danger? Nonsense, why hide? Who do you think might be here? Oh, I don't know, maybe the person who knocked over that can. And what if someone attacked Alien? Have you thought about that? He might attack us too. I don't know what to say and I remain speechless, imagining the implication Skull is jesting. The possibility of this sends a shiver down my spine. I'm not suggesting he's been attacked, I hope. So why can't we find him anywhere? Why doesn't he answer when we try and contact him? I don't know what to answer, so I remain mute, devastated by the idea that he might be right. To look downstairs. Without waiting for me to reply, he moves towards the staircase. Doubled, I follow him and step behind. I look toward the desk that forms an angle with the stairs. There are many sheets of paper on it, and I think delivery slips. As I approach to examine it in more detail, I notice a broken barrier. Hidden behind a pile of wires, it's practically invisible if you don't look at it at an angle. Oil, Already moving the wires to get closer to it. Paul stops with one foot on the stairs and turns to face me. His eyes follow me, arcing an eyebrow. Wait, I don't listen to him, excitement and concern. Don't listen to him. Excitement and concern, I've seized control of my thought and actions. Stepped over, step over the mess and only stop once I'm next to the barrier. Coils join me, visibly annoyed. So you never listen to what you are told? The look I gave him is one of innocence, a certain degree of irony. I admit, like it when I stand up to you. Must be joking, what's this? I hold back a triumphant smile. This is things like that. My companion has neared the barrier and is kneeling in front of it. He holds out his finger, outlining the shards without touching them. I lean over, intrigued. It appears to have been broken in two, and by something heavy. Look how the material's broken. Shows me a crack stretching from the brick to the outer edge of the barrier. I lean over a little more and end up kneeling next to him. Yet this type of material is very sturdy. It doesn't break just like that. And above all, it doesn't leave those sort of marks. As if, stop suddenly and turn to look at him. As if, my question remains unanswered. Eyes in the distance, gazing at a point far beyond the broken barrier, he appears to be in thought. I study his profile for a few seconds. In his unusual light, he appears grave and serious, almost formal. Slowly, he looks down to survey the floor near the barrier, and I do the same. Some shards, few marks left by a unit with metal fit, but nothing in particular. I edge out my neck slightly to look further down. Whatever broke the barrier must be down here, right? The repairman agrees absent-mindedly. He runs a finger over the floor as if measuring the depth of the marks there, and I follow them up. I do the same before turning to face him again and freeze instantly. Cole's face just a hair breadth from mine. His eyes catch my gaze and hold it troubling me. Smile at him. I struggle to hold back a smile. Cole's magnetism has completely ensnared me. It's impossible to resist him. It's like fighting against the current. You never succeed in doing so. I lose myself in his eyes as an astral thought takes root in my mind. I don't really know what I'm hoping for. That's the thin barrier of air that separates our lips. Dissipate. His lips touch mine, that he takes a step back, that he speaks. Maybe all that at the same time. Continue to stare at each other, and finally he is the one who tears his gaze away first. The thing that was pushed is down there. Look, marks start further on. I force myself to turn and study the black mark. Right, but that doesn't really help us. At least it helps us proceed in the right direction. Above all, it shows us that something strange has been going on here. Come on, we need to go downstairs. He takes my hand and laces his finger through mine, surprised by his gesture to react. I allow myself to be laid along a straighten up and pushes back a pile of wires to reach the staircase. Messy here too, huh? Cole starts to climb, still grasping me firmly. He's afraid I will run off at the first if he lets me go. Or is he trying to keep me next to him to shelter me from potential danger? I can't decide. His face is fathomless and in front of me. Impossible to read anything in him at all. However, I don't resist. There wouldn't be any point, and the place is much too murky for me to be reckless. I try to soften the grasp and relaxing my finger, I wind them gently around coils. And surprise, he appears to react. I pretend not to have noticed my face turned towards the level where we are heading. The tops of numerous shelves stretch out before us, blocking the view. I can make out the wall at the end and on the side other lower units. Coil doesn't realize me until we reach the floor. Gazes briefly at me, but I don't know how to interpret what I see here. I will leave you this sign. I'm going over there. I don't understand. What do you mean? Kyle sighs and turns around completely to face me. Listen, I doubt there is anyone here other than us. We would have already have noticed the presence. We would have already noticed the presence, okay? True, and the quicker we have searched this place, the quicker we will find something that will tell us where to find Alien. You want us to search? He arcades an eyebrow, ironically. It's been a good idea up until now. No? Do you have anything else to add? Yes, yes, yes. I have a lot to say about the repairman's method. Emmett is right. My gaze sweeps over the broken area above us and the messy warehouse. And still like me that has been ransacked. Aliens is in trouble, big trouble, I think. If you want to help him, we don't have a choice. You with me? Take a breath, resigning myself to the inevitable. I'm with you for the moment. He smiles slightly in response to my word, gentle, irresistible. It promises many things that do not have their place here. Take control of my vivid imagination and step aside to go and search the area, leaving Cole to explore his own side. Yeah. A cute little robot, a recent model, what a shame. Can't disassemble it. Can't even finish his work. Coil. My eyes search for my companion and I finally spot him near the corner opposite the staircase. I walk over to him quickly, holding in my hand the things I've found. Have you found something? Quite a few strange things. Look, I lay the objects I've collected on the assembly bench near where he's standing and arc an eyebrow. What's that? I indicate a glimmering angular item on the table. I found it on the floor. Show me. Quickly, Cole picks up the part and holds it to me. I take it surprised by its solid appearance. Its weight suggests it's a high density material. The surface is smooth and cold to the touch and is amazingly shiny. I hold it to my eyes and slowly turn it to examine it from the side. Amazing, this part doesn't look like anything that exists. Actually, maybe it does, but you don't part anymore. We exchange a glance and I notice a hint of anxiety in his eye. What do you mean? Companion's pointing at a small ridge on the outer edge of the path. Of anything. I squint and study the surface, becoming increasingly as I start to make out the detail. One groove carved into the material as if for some sort of pipe. I turn the part between my hands again and I tilt slightly to the inside. At least it's articulated and doesn't seem all that seized up, as if it's been maintained. Finger slides over it, touched every inch of metal. Notice some marks here and there, but I don't concern myself with them. It's just an idea. Well, I will be damned, it looks like an articulated arm from a robot from the Great War. Up with a bit of fear and fascination, Charles was watching me silently. This pipe is for hydraulic system. It's shown in my textbook. So, gently, almost respectfully, he raises his hand, touches the object in my hand, but it is not possible that it's. I look around Ellion's warehouse. Could such part have got here? Why is it possible? You are holding it, it's real. I shake my head, confused. My certitudes are being smashed into pieces. Because the only place you find this sort of part is prohibited. You are referring to the old battlefield? I stare at him confused. No, naturally. Of course, that's the only place where you can find this type of stuff. You see, I have a different opinion. Really, I find it hard to believe. And yet, just take a look around the garbage dump, you will realize you are wrong. Garbage dump, I stare at my companion Stan. No one goes to the garbage dump nowadays. No one other than my master question call, but it's probably come from an old android. Trying to avoid the question is assertion might raise. Maybe I haven't a clue. But after all, do I have the right to question him about himself? Probably not. How come we found it here in his warehouse? Do you think it belongs to Ellion? I don't ask the question that's playing on my mind. Is it because this part of Ellion's disappeared? Cole shrugs unsure. I lay the part on the assembly bench and gaze at the other item I found scattered around. I was leaned over to continue examining the strange articulated arm. I pick up what looks like an android head and touch its surface distracted. Oil? What? Repairman strength an up frown on his forehead, show him head in my hand. Look, what? It's a piece of robot. Look at the material, it looks the same. Time he listened to what I'm saying and takes it from me. Dick thought he examined it a long while before agreeing. It looks like you're right. And when it turns to face me, its eyes used to show a certain form of respect. His smile touches me deeply, gentle, soothing, friendly. I've seen thousands of different parts since being a repairman. But you don't see part like this one every day. You was examining more detail, don't you think? I agree and take the head before laying it next to the articulated arm. We shouldn't stay here. We won't find anything else related to Alien. Even if I do have the feeling that all this has something to do with him. Yes, we have seen all there is to see in this warehouse. I gathered together the object I found and bundled them into my bag before picking up the articulated arm. We'll manage with it. Can't help laughing. No problem, I will even know how to repair the android if necessary. I don't doubt it will fix it all. I conceal my smile and head toward the staircase with Skull just behind me and my valuable treasure in my hand. Fuck! Didn't manage the last quest. Damn, all that for nothing. 1 hour. Oof! 1 hour. So, where are we at? Missing part? Missing part. I have only 23 ethos points.